in your own wallet. Hey, that's a good idea. Sorry, Biden. Let's bring in Walser Wealth Management President. That would be Rebecca Walser. Rebecca, good morning to you.
Good morning, David.
Good morning. So some big news. So late last week, mortgage rates fell to their lowest point in 3 years. And it's obviously a win for the Trump administration, obviously a win for consumers, or at least certain consumers. The president says this is going to bring monthly payments down and make home ownership more affordable. But tell us all about what's happening here. Is it under 6%? That's my understanding.
Yeah, on Friday, it hit 5.99% on the 30-year, which is the lowest since February of 2023. And it's a combination of the fact that Powell is out in May. Trump is set to announce his pick for the new Fed chairman this month. And we expect that person to be a lot more dovish, a lot more accommodative. And that person's going to need to build consensus because the Federal Reserve is very divided. It's one of the most divided Feds we've had probably in decades. And so a lot of people do not understand or do not have consensus on how to deal with international and monetary policy right now. So it's going to be a challenge. But the mortgage rates have come to below 6 as of Friday.
By the way, any sense, not to put you into FanDuel.com or any sort of betting app here, but what's your sense here of like who might be the next Fed chairman? We've heard is it Kevin Hassert. We've heard, well, I don't think Scott Bessent's going to do it. I mean, what are you hearing exactly? Or maybe
No, I mean, that's a lot of people are picking the two Kevins. I actually think Bessent is who Trump wants. And I think if he could convince him to take the role, that's who he wants. But I don't know. I think he is his best economic speaker in the administration. He goes out there, he explains things to people in very simple to understand terms. He's very common sense, and he definitely has Trump's ear and does Trump what Trump really cares for. So I think it's Bessent, but I don't know if he'll take the job. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, that would be huge if it was, for sure. All right, so President Trump announced last Friday, Rebecca, that he's calling for this one-year cap, limiting credit card interest rates to 10%, things like that. And those rates, obviously, they're going as high as 20-30% under the Biden administration. So talk about what this would do for Americans. And I mean, I don't know about the lawyer aspect of this, but I don't know if he can actually do that. I don't think he can. I don't know what he can do and what he can't do, but help me through some of this.
Yeah, from a constitutional perspective, we don't have the authority for the president to go in and say you have to limit rates to maximum 10%. We do have usury laws, right? There are things as usury laws, but that's different. Interesting. I looked at Visa and MasterCard's profit margins. In Q3, MasterCard had a little bit over a 45% profit margin. Visa had just over a 50% profit margin. These companies are very, very profitable. Of course, a second that President Trump stated this is a concern of his. Bernie Sanders has been banging this drum for a while. Obviously, President Trump put a 1-year limit on it to make this more palatable for the credit card companies. But of course, the industry, the bankers, the American bankers, all of them are going to say, if you do this, you're going to actually hurt Americans because what's going to happen is the credit card companies are going to immediately restrict credit to only their highest credit A borrowers and cut off all of what we call our BC borrowers. And that would make them go to potentially loan sharks, payday loans, a lot more of a usury type of thing to get credit. So it's a very, very catch-22. How does he help these people with these outrageous rates, but yet not really violate the Constitution and try to tell private companies what to do? So it's very interesting. Perhaps we update the usury laws to say, anything over 18.99% is considered usury. I mean, I'm not sure what the solution is, David, but it is a problem.
Yeah, wow, that's very well explained there. I appreciate that, Rebecca. We got like 20 seconds real quick, but there was some economic news from the president. He's backing a potential ban on corporate investors from buying single-family homes. He says this is going to help make home ownership more affordable. What do you think? Good idea? We got 23 seconds.
23 seconds. I mean, I am all about private corporations having the ability, but yes, this is a problem. BlackRock, Blackstone going into our neighborhoods, buying up the entire neighborhood, making housing prices not affordable, and also becoming landlords and having a bunch of serfs. And that's not the model we want for our country. So I do think that there's merit in this proposal.
21 seconds. I was timing you, but I was also listening. Rebecca, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.